It is my opinion that the present subject interests all, whatever breathes and moves upon the earth, all that are endowed with existence, with a rational soul, and with a mind, but that above all others it interests myself, inasmuch as I am a votary of the sun. From my earliest infancy, I was possessed with a strange longing for the solar rays, so that when, as a boy, I cast my eyes upon the ethereal splendor, my soul felt seized and carried up out of itself. And not merely was it my delight to gaze upon the solar brightness, but at night also, whenever I walked out in clear weather, disregarding all else, I used to fix my eyes upon the beauty of the heavens, so that I neither paid attention to what was said to me, nor took any notice of what was going on. On this account, people used to think me too much given to such pursuits, and far too inquisitive for my age. And they even suspected me, long before my beard was grown, of practicing divination by means of the heavenly bodies. And yet at that time no book on the subject had fallen into my hands, and I was utterly ignorant of what that science meant. But what use is it to quote these matters, when I have still stranger things to mention, if I should mention what I at that time thought about the gods? But let oblivion rest upon that epoch of darkness, how the radiance of heaven, diffused all round me, used to lift up my soul to its own contemplation, to such a degree that I discovered for myself that the moon's motion was in the opposite direction to that of the rest of the system, long before I met with any works giving the philosophy of such matters. My own belief is, if philosophers be entitled to any credit, that the sun is the common parent of all men, to use a comprehensive term. It is a true proverb, man begets man, and so does the sun. But souls that luminary showers down upon earth, both out of himself and out of the other gods, which souls show to what end they were propagated by the kind of life that they pursue. But well is it for that man who, from the third generation backwards, and a long succession of years, has been dedicated to the service of this god. Yet neither is that person's condition to be despised who, feeling in his own nature that he is a servant of this deity, alone or with few on his side, shall have devoted himself to his worship. Come then, and let us celebrate in the best way we can the anniversary festival which the imperial city is keeping by sacrifices with unusual splendor. And yet, I feel how difficult it is for the human mind even to form a conception of that sun who is not visible to the sense, if our notion of him is to be derived from the sun that is visible. But to express the same in language, however inadequately, is perhaps beyond the capability of man. To fitly explain his glory, I am very well aware, is a thing impossible. In lauding it, however, mediocrity seems the highest point to which human eloquence is able to attain. That divine and all-beauteous world, which from the highest vault of heaven down to the lowest earth is held together by the immutable providence of God, and which has existed from all eternity without creation, and shall be eternal for all time to come, and which is not regulated by anything except approximately by the fifth body, of which the principle is the solar light, placed, as it were, on the second step below the world of intelligence, and finally by the means of the sovereign of all things, around whom all things stand. This being, whether properly to be called that which is above comprehension, or the type of things existing, or the One, inasmuch as unity appears to be the most ancient of all things, or the good, as Plato regularly designates him, this, then, is the single principle of all things, and which serves to the universe as a model of indescribable beauty, perfection, unity, and power. And after the pattern of the primary substance that dwells within the principle, he hath sent forth out of himself, and like in all things unto himself, the Son, a mighty God, made up of equal parts of intelligible and creative causes. And this is the sense of the divine Plato, where he writes, "You may say," replied I, "that I mean the offspring of the good, whom the good has produced similar to itself, in order that what the good is in the region of intelligence, and as regards things only appreciable by the mind, its offspring should be the same in the region that is visible, and in the things that are appreciable by the sight. For this reason, I believe that the light of the sun bears the same relation to things visible as truth does to things intelligible. But this whole, inasmuch as it emanates from the model and idea of the primal and supreme good, and exists from all eternity around his immutable being, has received sovereignty also over the gods appreciable by the intellect alone, and communicates to them the same good things because they belong to the world of intelligence, as are poured down from the supreme good upon the other objects of intelligence. For to these latter, the supreme good is the source, as I believe, of beauty, perfection, existence, and union, holding them together and illuminating them by its own virtue, which is the idea of the good.